Hey guys, so in today's video we're going to be working again with this Klipper Screen, and after using it for about a day now, there's a couple things I don't like about it. I'm not a fan of this, so this TFT 3.5-inch display kind of has like a little membrane on top that provides the capacitive touch function for this display, and if you're trying to work this with your finger, it's you miss, or at least I miss the target. Like right now I'm trying to press this little arrow here, and what I'm doing instead is homing the printer, which that's not what I wanted to do. One solution, if you do want to stay with this screen, is to use some type of device that has a capacitive touchpad on it. So in this case, I'm using the end of this ball pen for a kind of like a touchpad type of a device, and this works really good. So you can get in here and you can really mess around with this a little bit better. But I'm not a fan of this touchpad. So what I think I'm going to do today is try to use an Android device connected to the CB1, or in this case I'm using a Manta M5P that has the CB1 integrated, to control the Android device and run Klipper Screen on it. Another issue that I'm having with this setup the way that it is right now is, for some reason, the CB1 relies on SPI for the interface to run Klipper Screen and the accelerometer both. And I haven't found a workaround for that, but I think this might be the solution. It'll give us a touch device that doesn't have one of these membranes on it, at least not this inexpensive type of membrane, and a faster, more responsive display. So guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, turn on your notification bell, and leave some comments. I love reading the comments and do my best to get back to you guys as soon as I see them. Alright, so what we're going to need for this is we're going to need an Android phone. So here I have an old Motorola G5 that we're going to be using, and it's totally stripped down. It could be on airplane mode. It doesn't have to have an account logged into it or anything, okay? Another thing that you're going to need is a data cable, and you'll know if it's a data cable or not when you plug the phone in. So if you plug this cable into the phone and plug this cable into your computer, if it is a data cable and you do have the phone set up to act as a storage device, whenever the cable is plugged in, it will show up on your PC as like a USB thumb drive. So that's how you can tell if you're using a data cable or if you only have a charge-only cable. Alright, so let's jump right into it. One thing that we're going to need is an app. So let me show you the app that we're going to need here. And I'll put the APK file in the video description. That way, if you guys want to download it, the same one I'm using, you can. Well, let me go to my file explorer here, and I'll show you the APK file. So this is the APK file. It's called Xserver XSDL, and that's the one that you want to install. And I already have it installed, so I'm not going to install it again, but I'll show you guys how to configure it here in a second. So let's jump on the computer real quick, and I'll show you what we need to do to the CB1 or Raspberry Pi, if you decide you want to use this on a Raspberry Pi, to get the Raspberry Pi, or CB1 in my case, to control Klipper Screen via an Android device. Alright, so one thing that you're going to need to do with your Android device, and this is prior to installing the software, is we got to put this thing in developer mode. Now to do that, just open up your settings area and click on the little gear icon. Scroll down to where it says about phone. Click on that, and you want to look for build number. So I already have mine in developer mode, but if yours is not, just start tapping on this 7 times, and it's telling me that I'm already in developer mode. But every time you tap on it, it'll like count down. It'll say 6 more times to developer mode, 5 more times, and so on until you get the developer mode. Once you get on the developer mode, you can go back one. I can hit this thing properly, and you're gonna find developer mode somewhere around here. Should be a developer mode. Let me see. Might be under System, Advanced, and right here, Developer Options. All right, so in here, you're gonna look for USB debug. So right here, debugging, USB debugging, you have to enable this. And this will allow whatever device you have connected to the phone to send instructions to the phone. All right, so make sure you have this enabled, and then everything will work for you. All right, so let's head over to the computer, and I'll show you what we need to do next. Let's open up a PuTTY terminal, and just like I described yesterday, you can use the wireless network watcher to find the IP that you need. All right, so paste your IP in here, click open. All right, what we're gonna do is we need to log in. The default login is BIQU, and again BIQU. And we're gonna need to enter the following into the terminal. So I'll link this little helper file in the video description. I'll start with this first line. So right under where it says CB1 or Raspberry Pi terminal commands, we're gonna select the following line. So just highlight, right click, copy, right click into PuTTY, enter. All right, once you get to the prompt, we're gonna copy the next line. So just highlight it, copy, paste, enter. Next line, copy, paste, enter. Next line, copy, paste, enter. All right, and now for this part, we need to go to the Android device. So let me show you guys what we're going to do there. So on the Android device, you want to launch that app, Xserver XDL, and up here at the top, you want to click on this change device configuration before it goes away. And the first thing that we're going to need to change is under mouse emulation. You want to click on that. You're going to go to mouse emulation mode, and you want to select the bottom one, desktop, no emulation. Select OK. And now from this screen, we're going to swipe up to get to this choice here that says command line parameter 1 argument per line. Click on that, and you want to add the following. So when you first open this up, it's going to just show XSDL and then minus or the hyphen sign screen buttons, and we're going to add the following 2 lines. So to do that, you're going to click on the screen, and you're going to have a blinking cursor. So you're going to press the enter key. So the enter button down here on the thing, it's going to make a space. In my case, I already entered it, so I don't need to enter it again. But what you're going to add is the minus S. I don't know if you can see that there. And then the 0. So it'll be, here, I'll tell you what, I'll erase it. We'll just do it. All right, so you're going to press enter, minus S, enter again, 0. Okay, once you got that, press done, OK, swipe up till you get to the bottom OK again, and that's it. You're finished. Okay, and it's gonna do this. So right now it's sitting here. It's just listening. It's waiting for some instructions from the CB1. So let's go back to the terminal real quick, and we'll check and make sure we don't need to do anything else there, and then we'll plug it in. All right, the last thing we need to do is to remove the switch on the board environment.txt file so that the current Klipper screen can be deactivated. So to do that, we're going to go over to our other little cheat sheet over here. I'm going to grab this, copy, paste it into the terminal, enter, and then now we have our file. If you remember from my last video, I talked about how to get into this to edit it, and what we're going to do is press the INS key or insert key. In my case, it's the same key as the F12, so I'm just going to press it. The bottom now is going to show insert, and now I can, in this space here, where the little green cursor is, I can add the pound sign to comment out the TFT display. All right, once that's done, I'm going to press the escape key, Shift colon, W for write, Q for quit, press enter, and it's done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reboot the Raspberry Pi, and to do that you can type in sudo space reboot, and the Raspberry Pi will restart. So now let's go back over to the printer real quick, and we'll see what it's doing. All right, so during our restart, since we deactivated the Klipper screen, we're going to have this mumbo jumbo here on the display, and that's okay because we're going to hook up the Android device to the CB1. All right, what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to push this plug out of here. I'm going to have to remake this plug because that's where I'm going to plan to run this USB cable. I don't know if it's going to reach, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to plug it into the CB1. So just pick any USB port that happens to be vacant. I'm going to pick this bottom one, plug it in there, and I'm going to run this cable through the hole on the top. I'm going to leave the display in for now, and then I'll work on that later. All right, so I'm just going to plug the display in. And I may have to restart the whole system, so let me just put this thing down here if it'll reach. All right, I'm going to reboot the Raspberry Pi. There you go. All right, so now I just need to verify that I can enable the accelerometer without having any problems. So let's jump back over to the computer real quick. We'll enable it, and then we'll reboot the system one more time and make sure that everything's working. All right, guys, so let me go in here into the machine, open up the printer.cfg, and we're going to recomment uncomment these lines to get the accelerometer working again. Save and restart. And if all goes well, we won't have any errors. All right, that looks good. All right, let's go back to the CB1 and check our Klipper screen. Okay, there you go. All right, so there it is. Temperature. Click on the little gear icon. You got a little input shaper here, shows you your current values. You got your network button. Shows you the IP address. It shows you the network you're on. Klipper screen options. And much nicer display. You're not dealing with that cheesy membrane. And the cool thing is the phone, I believe, is charging. Yep, it's charging. So this means that so long as the printer is on and the phone is charging, you're good to go. Now, if you are going to shut off the printer, the phone will still be running the software. So you will need to shut down the phone. So that's really about the only little thing that you need to worry about. Because the way that we set the software up is it will stay running so long as the phone is on. It won't. The screen will go to sleep, but then if you tap it, it'll just come right back. But the phone is not gonna go into like a hibernation mode itself. All right, so right now it's screen's off in 1 hour. Let's try it in 1 minute and see what happens. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can see the bed mesh. There's no bed mesh currently loaded. All right, we'll leave it alone for 1 minute and see if the screen goes to sleep. All right, so the screen's asleep. If you need to wake it up, just tap it and you're good to go. All right, so I'm going to jump on the Onshape real quick and make a phone holder for this that can use a magnet. This phone case already has a little piece of metal in it, so it should stick. That way we can get a permanent way of mounting this thing. I'll probably just do something like this. The wire can kind of go into this little hole over here, and it should be just fine like that. All right, guys, so these are a few parts that I printed up. And I'll leave these parts, the STL file for them in the video description. That way, if you guys, in the off chance, have a Corception 300 or a Creativity Elf, you guys can use this. But all this is a magnetic car mount that I disassembled. And I'll put a link to this particular one in the video description as well. I picked it up on Amazon. It was fairly inexpensive, but what I was after was the little rubber pad and the magnets. So to put it together, all you're doing is taking the little rubber pad, putting it in the 3D printed part, putting the back cover on it, and then this uses a couple of Phillips head screws. They're real short. And if I'm not mistaken, these actually came in the kit. They were the screws that were used to assemble the original magnetic mount that came with it. See? Looks good. I think my screws are protruding a little bit. All right, next thing is screw this to the little plate that's going to fasten it to the body of the Corception 300. And if I did this right, it should go together. Yep. And I may not even need any screws. Oh, okay, awesome. So let's install this thing here. Looks like I misplaced one of the screws somewhere. Anyhow, I'll find that later. All right, let's let me bring this thing down. Let's see if I can get that in there a little bit. And there we go. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Turn on your notification bell. And leave me some comments. I love reading the comments. And do my best to get back to you guys as soon as I see them. Alright guys, this video is a wrap. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.